In the summer of 1948, on a pristine beach in Adelaide, Australia, authorities discovered a body that would become one of the most perplexing mysteries in forensic history. The man appeared ordinary, yet every detail of his existence had been methodically erased. What investigators found hidden in his clothing would challenge the very foundations of identity and belonging in ways that continue to defy explanation decades later. Before we begin our investigation, subscribe for more unsolved cases. It was December 1st, 1948, just after 6:30 in the morning, when the tide began its retreat from Somerton Beach near Adelaide, South Australia. The summer heat had not yet settled over the golden coastline, and the morning air carried the salt-tinged freshness that drew locals to this stretch of sand. Two men walked the shoreline, their footsteps marking the damp sand as they approached what appeared to be a figure resting against the seawall. The man lay motionless, his back pressed against the concrete barrier, legs extended toward the water. His position suggested peaceful sleep rather than death, yet something about the scene struck the witnesses as profoundly wrong. The body wore a well-tailored suit despite the beach setting, and not a single grain of sand disturbed the fabric. The man's appearance was unremarkable, middle-aged with graying hair and a medium build, yet his presence on this remote stretch of coastline seemed to violate some natural order. Police arrived within the hour, followed by Detective Lionel Lean, whose methodical approach to criminal investigation would soon encounter phenomena that challenged conventional forensic science. The deceased showed no obvious signs of violence, no wounds or trauma that might explain his death. His face bore an expression of profound tranquility, as if he had simply chosen to rest against the seawall and never awakened. The initial examination revealed details that transformed a routine death investigation into something far more disturbing. Every identifying mark had been removed from the man's clothing with surgical precision. Labels, manufacturer tags, and size indicators had been carefully cut away, leaving only the faintest traces of thread where they once attached. The removal showed a level of deliberation that suggested long-term planning rather than impulsive action. The man's pockets contained no wallet, no identification documents, and no personal effects that might reveal his identity. What investigators did find defied easy explanation. A pack of cigarettes, an aluminum comb, and a small piece of paper with a local bus timetable comprised the entirety of his possessions. The cigarettes were an American brand, uncommon in Australia, while the comb showed signs of recent use despite the man's perfectly groomed appearance. Dr. John Barclay Bennett conducted the autopsy with particular attention to the circumstances surrounding the death. The internal examination revealed congestion in the lungs and brain consistent with poisoning, yet no trace of any known toxin appeared in the tissue samples. The man's organs showed signs of sudden failure, as if his body had simply stopped functioning without external cause. More disturbing still, the deceased possessed several anatomical peculiarities that suggested unusual physical conditioning. His calf muscles were extraordinarily developed, indicating years of specialized training or activity. His hands showed no calluses or scars, suggesting he had never performed manual labor, yet his overall fitness level exceeded that of most men his age. 6 months after the initial discovery, investigators made a find that fundamentally altered their understanding of the case. Hidden in a tiny pocket within the man's trousers, sewn so carefully that it had escaped initial detection, was a small piece of paper bearing 2 words in Persian, tamam shud, meaning ended or finished. The paper had been carefully torn from a larger document. The phrase led authorities to a rare collection of poetry by Omar Khayyam, specifically a translation titled The Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. Within days, a local man came forward with a copy of the book, claiming he had found it in his car around the time of the body's discovery. The book contained the missing piece that matched the paper found on the deceased, but the book held secrets that deepened the mystery beyond mere coincidence. On the back cover, someone had written a series of letters in pencil. Wa Gerbab, followed by Mei. The handwriting appeared deliberate, possibly a code or cipher. Below these letters, investigators found what appeared to be a telephone number that had been partially erased. The telephone number led to a young woman named Jessica Thompson, who lived in nearby Glenelg. When questioned, she claimed no knowledge of the deceased man, yet her reaction upon seeing photographs of the body suggested recognition. Witnesses reported that she appeared shocked and nearly fainted when shown the images, though she maintained her denial of any connection. Further investigation into Jessica Thompson's background revealed connections that challenged the official narrative. She had worked as a nurse during the war and had known a man named Alfred Boxall, who had given her a copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam in 1945. When authorities contacted Boxall, they discovered he was alive and still possessed his copy of the book, ruling out any direct connection. The mystery deepened when investigators learned that Jessica Thompson had given birth to a son in 1947, just over a year before the Somerton man's death. The child displayed the same unusual ear formation as the deceased, a rare genetic trait found in less than 2% of the population. The anatomical similarity suggested a biological connection that contradicted Thompson's denials. Code-breaking experts from around the world attempted to decipher the letter sequence found in the book, yet no solution emerged. The letters appeared to follow no known cipher system, and their arrangement defied conventional cryptographic analysis. Some theorists suggested the letters might represent the first letters of lines in a poem or message, while others proposed they could be abbreviations for names or locations. The investigation revealed that the Somerton man had visited a nearby hotel on the evening before his death, where he had inquired about a room but left without registering. Staff remembered him as well-dressed and polite, speaking with an accent that seemed neither distinctly Australian nor foreign. He had carried a small suitcase that was never recovered. Decades of investigation have failed to resolve the fundamental questions surrounding the Somerton man's identity or the circumstances of his death. The case files, now declassified, reveal a web of connections and coincidences that seem to resist logical explanation. Recent DNA analysis has provided new leads, yet each answer generates additional questions about the true nature of this mystery. The letter sequence remains undeciphered, standing as a testament to secrets that may never be revealed. Whether the Somerton man was a spy, a lover, or something else entirely, his story continues to challenge our understanding of identity, belonging, and the hidden connections that bind human lives together in ways we may never fully comprehend. What do you think really happened to the Somerton man, and why would someone go to such lengths to erase every trace of his identity? Subscribe to explore more cases where the line between documented fact and impossible mystery becomes dangerously thin.